It's happening again for the Montreal Canadiens as Alexander Zharovsky not only put on an incredible performance, but he did it at a new position that opens up a whole new door for the Habs organization with this prospect. But on top of all of that, he recently made Russia's under-20 national team. The good news just keeps coming for Alexander Zharovsky, and it has us thinking about another certain Habs prospect from a year ago. We got to dive into all of that, plus Noah Dobson and some recent stats that have come out and takes from top writers like the ones at The Athletic have highlighted just how important he has been, and it is beyond impressive. We're going to get into all that on this episode of Habs Digest, and we'll start with Noah Dobson as Jay Fresh. We know these player cards. We're familiar with them, Jesse, and guess who has gone up this year? Noah Dobson, after his play this year, has gone from, I think, about the 85th percentile in projected WAR, or wins above replacement percentage, to the 90th percentile, as in, he's in the 90th percentile of impact of all NHL players. Look at that even strength offense and the defense, that straight up line that is working on his defense, his finishing, his goals, his primary assists. Everything is clicking for this man, Noah Dobson. Even Dom Lucian at The Athletic did a recent article about top things going on in the NHL. He said Dobson from Montreal, look, he's effortlessly slid into that top pair, dominating the tough minutes, 61% expected goal rate. The key to winning matchup minutes is not just having a stay-at-home shutdown force, but having someone who doesn't have to sacrifice in the offense to do it, and it's looking like Noah Dobson can do that for Montreal. There's a lot of other stuff we can say on it, Jesse, but it's safe to say this guy has been probably the biggest X factor for this team this season.
Yeah, he definitely has, and he's really showing with his addition that Montreal Canadiens now have one of the best defensive cores in the entire NHL. And as we know, Josh, the analytics have been singing Noah Dobson's praises really all season long. When we see like wins above replacement, like this is a good stat to really look at your overall impact on the game. Just trailing Nick Suzuki, he's at a very impressive 95. Noah Dobson also getting that 90%, which is very acutely showing how he's affecting the game on both the defensive side and then obviously the offensive side, which was a big part. You had to feel like analytics were a big part of acquiring Noah Dobson. Obviously, he's shining in this regard here. And we know, Josh, like we don't need to look further than that first pass, really, which just sums up everything of helping your defense and then transition to offense. Like this is what Noah Dobson really does so well. And you made a great point of highlighting that 61 goals expected percentage with him on the ice. But Josh, that jumps up to an 81% goals expected when he's now paired with that first line, which is really, if we're looking at why the Montreal Canadiens are winning again, it's that depth. And Dobson, again, like being such a huge part of that, right? Where it's like, even if you shut down that first line, we got more depth, and even we're adding to it not just by our forward core, but our D core and how that worked with the first line, adding all these other dimensions to this team. I mean, just the fact that he's brought new life into Mike Matheson, Josh, has made me forever grateful to Noah Dobson and all the other things that he's doing for this team right now.
He's breathing life into Matheson. He's breathing life into the rest of the team. But you're absolutely right, and that was a great thing for you to point out as well. As Dom said in his article, it might even be the most important aspect, what he's doing with that top line. 40 minutes together is pretty good for like a one defenseman with a certain line. They're up 3-0 in terms of goals with that 81% expected goals. It's crazy. And again, it just goes to show like this guy, he is not just like a stay-at-home shutdown force, but he can do that. He doesn't take the body. He does it by poking the puck, and it's imperative not to slow down the team's top forwards in the name of defense. And that's one thing Noah Dobson does not do. Like you mentioned, Jesse, the offense is flowing through Noah Dobson. The defense at 5v5 is flowing with Noah Dobson. The biggest weakness on his card is his power play. And you can see the penalty kill is not applicable at the moment because he hasn't played really enough penalty kill in his career to be up there, because that's a 3-year weighted kind of data right there. But he's been pretty good so far this year. There's a lot still left untapped with Noah Dobson. We're really excited to get into it. But speaking of untapped potential, I don't think there's anyone in terms of all the Habs prospects now that exhibits that better than Alexander Zharovsky. Yeah, we have Fowler and Xhekaj, but I think those guys, we can see that potential. Zharovsky, when we drafted him, it was like, okay, MHL, is this going to translate? My gosh, is it translating? We got some great tweets here from Adelina, who tweeted a few of these videos and some things about Zharovsky's game today. Hasn't scored, but his line is all over the place. Non-stop pressure, absolute beast, winning the board battle, nearly loses it, recovers, and goes in all alone. Playing in these clips, he is everywhere, Jesse. He is in front of the net constantly. He should have gotten an assist on one of these plays. KHL's a bit stingy. He didn't. But my goodness, the fact he's using his body the way he is, the way he's crashing the net, combined with the incredible puck handling, the vision there on that pass, And he played center to top it all off. He played center today. He was 50% on the dot, 15 and a half minutes. Jesse, it just doesn't end with him. Every single thing Alexander Zharovsky has been doing as of late is beyond impressive, and I just can't help but draw the comparables to our own boy Ivan Demidov. Like, maybe it's not one for one, but my gosh, I can't help but be like stunned at what he's doing.
I mean, you're right to feel that way. Like, the hands are at a Demidov level. Like, we have, like, it's maybe not quite demigod, but like very, very, maybe quarter god. At this point, we're going to go all the way. Just like, he's going to get there. The hands are unreal, Josh, but it's like, it's the hunger that I'm loving from him right now. Like, whether that's like going to the net, and you can see it like when he's playing, like he's going to the net. For me, that's saying like a lot about his character. And again, he's going to go to the rough place, score goals. And that's something you don't always see with skill guys. Zharovsky has that. He had the size with it. That's an intimidating presence to the other team. But again, Josh, like if we just roll these clips again, like whenever it looks like the puck's going the other way, look how Zharovsky's getting like on his horse to like back check. It's not just him in the offensive zone doing crazy feeds, but like he's looking to play a complete game. And the fact of like one of the first games at center being 50% of the dot, that's not a bad starting point here. So it's really, in Zharovsky, we know it's second round pick, first round talent. And even, you know, some analysts, even Grant McKegg, like he said, like, this is like a top 10 guy in terms of like talent from last year's draft. And you know what? All these clips that we're seeing, like, is really just proving that more and more. But like, we have to look at like the overall situation, which of course Zharovsky's a part of, that is so incredible for the Habs. Let's explain what this is right now. Is we have Kaiden, who's producing. He's being like a goal scorer, 4 goals this year.
Crazy.
Unreal. Would we, the 2C that we got from like maybe trading, would he get us 4 goals? I don't know. I don't think so at this point in time, right? We got Xhekaj coming up. Who can play center. We got Zharovsky, who we know has skill for days, is going to back check with just this entire team, right? Everything else kind of factoring in. But again, all this factors in that, like, Kent Hughes doesn't have to be like, if he thought that he maybe needed like a young guy for maybe like a 2C role, like now it's kind of ruled out, like he's going to look for like a vet. For if we added 2C, it's going to be a vet. We just got too many young guys coming up that look like they can really play that position. So obviously an amazing development, what he's doing so far this year. I'm just loving the complete play though, Josh. Like that's what's really getting me excited about what this player can bring.
Yeah, the complete play and like to some extent a little bit of even leadership, should I say? Like we do have this quote here from Dan Milstein via an RG.org article. By the way, all these articles we're referencing linked down below, saying he has every chance to not only reach the NHL but to become a leader there. Montreal worked hard to get him. The Canadiens were nervous. They wanted him since the middle of the first round. Their head scout Nick Bobrov followed him closely and believed strongly in his potential. And there was talk of how we've been working on that trade. We wanted to trade with Carolina. It didn't work at first, but eventually it did. And this guy, again, the performance is speaking for itself, the 8 points in 10 games. We see that NHL potential. And, you know, you actually just made me think there, like, having this luxury of these centers, Jesse, could it maybe make Montreal more likely to go for a rental maybe at the deadline, knowing we can fill a spot with a young guy? I don't know. Right? Anyway, that's maybe for another time. But to top this all off, he was recently named, amongst some other great prospects like Pyotr Andreanov, Mikhail Fyodorov, and Danil Prokhorov, and Timur Cole. They've all been called to the under-20 national team. That will be November 6th to 9th, so just a few weeks away. They'll play at that Future Cup, where we'll see Zharovsky in some international action among some other NHL prospects. And to me, like, the KHL is impressive enough, but to see how he fares against some other NHL prospects, some of them quite highly touted, I think will be even more exciting, and just proof that, like, even like the Russian national team, like there's none of this BS, I think, surrounding Zharovsky. I think they all understand what the situation is. They're giving him playing time over there. The national team's like, come play for us, buddy. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can cook up.
And just the fact that he's being selected to play with the best young players of his generation right now from his country, it's just showing that when he's ready for the NHL, Josh, he's looking like a top 6 type of guy right now. What he could really add for this team, like, I don't know why, Josh, I'm just feeling this way, but I definitely just see Zharovsky being a part of the Montreal Canadiens when they win a Stanley Cup. Just being a part of that depth. There's just something about it. Again, you're having too many guys. We're starting to put too many levers kind of in our favor. Obviously, Demidov is just becoming a revelation. He's going to heat up as it goes on, but we see what that first line can do. Obviously, really stabilizing that in the next couple of years very shortly here. I just think we're just going to have so much depth up and down the lineup, Josh. I think it's just inevitable that this team, you know, with really the culture that they have, what they're building, it's just going to be a matter of time before they take it all. We're going to have to revisit this video in a couple of years if that happens. Like, There's something special about Zharovsky, though. I could see him being part of something really special here that the Montreal Canadiens are building.
It's true. Like, there's just sometimes you just get that feeling, right? And the feeling's not always right, but right now I feel like I've been steered right more than I've been steered wrong with these Habs prospects. Like, the guys that we have been getting hyped over, like, we're not used to having guys pan out the way Lane Hudson did, pan out the way Montembeault did, pan out so far the way, like, Jacob Fowler and Michael Hage have done. Yeah, Reinbacher still has been hurt. He'll be back soon, but, like, so many of these guys, I'm not used to them actually being as good as we're kind of hoping they are. And Zharovsky, I think, is just next in line. I mean, if we're following the Nick Bobrov school of scouting, it very well could work out. Leave your thoughts on all these guys down below. Zharovsky, Noah Dobson, even so much good happening in Montreal. That'll do it for this episode. But hey, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in every single day. We got stuff like this coming all season long. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.